Well, first of all, Jared, I want to say happy 90th birthday. Congratulations, fantastic achievement, and I'm really, really excited for you. Just in case you've forgotten who I am, my name is Martin Lyon, and you taught me piano from the late 80s through to my GCSEs and sort of slightly beyond that to about 1990. You used to call me Aslan because of my surname, and that's pretty much how you always introduced me or to other people. So this is Aslan, which is one of those nice little quirks. I think this idea of putting together a box of memories and a box of delights, as it were, is just a fantastic idea. And because I'm abroad, I'm in Singapore. I've been in Singapore for the last 15 years. Before that I was in Mexico. So I've been out of the UK for quite some time. But whenever I've come back to England, to Crowborough, I've often driven up Church Road and I've glanced across to Uckfield Lodge and I've seen the row of bells that are outside the room where we used to have our piano lessons, or our philosophy lessons as it more likely was. And I always check to see that you're still okay. The last time I popped in to see you was about 4 or 5 years ago now, and you were as active as ever. You were in the garden, and you were just excited to see me, and you showed me all of the latest research that you've been doing in your loft. So although it's been quite some time since I've seen you now, we have still occasionally had some contact, which has been brilliant. I was going through a pretty tricky time when I got to know you. My parents were getting divorced, and my piano lessons with you were a bit of stability in a time that was quite tricky. And I used the word piano lessons quite loosely because obviously we would talk about all sorts of things. I'd sit down at the piano and we wouldn't start by doing scales and stuff. You'd probably start by talking about the latest philosophical theory, or you'd bring up some interesting point and we'd start talking about that. I'm pretty sure sometimes I rarely played the piano at all in some of those lessons, which was fine by me because I just enjoyed the chats that we had together. You introduced me to so many new things. We went to see Beethoven's 7th Symphony in the Royal Festival Hall. That was my first experience of a proper concert in such a venue, and it blew me away. Just the sound quality blew me away. You took me to Glyndebourne, and I think we saw the Barber of Seville. We went and saw the Threepenny Opera in Tunbridge Wells, and I was always amazed by the breadth of your passion for music, because it was obviously mostly classical music, but you also had a great love for jazz, Leonard Bernstein and West Side Story, and you brought that into my lessons as well. You even knew lots about Genesis. I was into the band Genesis at the time, and you said that you kind of knew them when they were at school. I think it was Charterhouse or something like that. So you even were able to relate on my sort of level. I wasn't sure where I was at the time, whether I was pop or classical or somewhere in between. You were able to connect with me in those amazing ways. So lots of firsts there, and I really thank you for that. Other memories I have, well, of course, we spent quite some time one summer redecorating your flat, and you'd chosen some extremely heavy-duty wallpaper. It was possibly the most difficult wallpaper you could possibly choose to put up in your living area. And we were putting the paste out in your landing area, and had to use lots of paste because it was so heavy and textured, and they would hang it up, and then it dried, and I kept on seeing these bubbles appearing, so we were brushing, and that was good times. But one thing I remember, whether I was doing that or whether I was doing your garden or doing the garden for Patsy, which obviously was a big garden, we'd always break for lunch, and it would always be like a 4-course meal or something. Patsy would always cook something amazing. There'd be a starter and there'd be a main dish with meat or fish and these various vegetables, and then there'd be a dessert. And invariably you would also get some nice ice cold beer, but it wouldn't be normal, sensible beer when you're doing the job. It would always be special brew, like these big cans of special brew, which was totally inappropriate and totally irresponsible. Yeah. But it added to the experience, and very much enjoyed doing all of that. I remember going out for trips in your car, Henry. Was it a Volvo? Was it a Rover? I can't remember exactly what one, but it had the split windscreen at the front, and it was your pride and joy. And in fact, I think we went to a Glyndebourne in that, so that felt like going in real style. Loads and loads of memories. I think there's an awful lot to be said about time and place, and just the luck of who you meet and where you are. There was a time when we were with Ruben and Merrin Gamba and James Dagwell and David Gooder, and all of these different elements coming together, these incredibly talented people at the same time, and I just have incredibly fond, positive memories of that time. And you were part of that, very, very much a part of that. As I said, you were a stabilising element in a fairly tumultuous time in my life. And I just looked forward to my piano lessons. So I just wanted to try and bring back some of those wonderful memories. And I'm sorry that I can't be there. I'd love to be there and to see you on your 90th birthday. But I will come and see you in the summer when I'm back for about 9 days in the UK. So happy birthday, Jared. I hope you have a great day. I hope you enjoy sifting through these memories, and I'm sure you'll realise just how important you've been to so many lives. God bless.